Joseph, great to have you with us. After that historic June summit in Singapore, Trump declared on Twitter that there was no longer a nuclear threat from North Korea. But just the other day, in his missile defense review, he called North Korea an extraordinary threat. What's changed?
I don't think the fundamental situation has changed. I think the president has reevaluated his earlier statement in light of, so far, the non-progress that has been made since Singapore. And I think he's reminding Kim Jong-un and the rest of the world that the fundamental problem still exists, and until they make real progress on denuclearization, that it's important that he call that out.
What can we expect for this second summit?
Well, as you know, the president has been reluctant to have a second summit until he felt there was reasonable progress being made in the preliminary discussions. And even Secretary Pompeo postponed his trip to Pyongyang because there wasn't evidence of progress. So I think I'm taking now as a hopeful sign the fact that they met today and that they have been having many back-level discussions, that they see potential progress being made at the summit.
How do they ensure that this is not just another photo op?
That's what these other preliminary meetings are about. He met with Kim Yong-chol today, and presumably that's the kind of thing they talked about, that the president does not want just another photo op, and that he wants some tangible progress.
Kim recently met with China's President Xi. How do you think Pyongyang is going to capitalize on that alliance before this summit with the president?
It's an interesting question because, as you know, for years, Beijing's position has been, whenever we've asked them for support and assistance in solving this problem, they've always said it's a bilateral problem between the United States and North Korea. It's really not our problem. Now, with President Trump in office and making all the moves he's made, and we appeared to be at the point of some kind of substantial progress before Singapore, suddenly Xi Jinping took an interest in the subject and in fact summoned Kim Jong-un to Beijing to plan strategy. And they've now had 2, 3, 4 meetings since then. So I think that China is the key, frankly, to this entire conundrum. And until China plays a constructive and positive role, I don't think we can expect much progress from North Korea.
What do you think their strategy is? You mentioned that they've been plotting their strategy. What do you think that will be before going into this next summit?
Theirs being North Korea's?
Yeah, North Korea and China's.
And China. Keep in mind that for China, the North Korea crisis has been a strategic boon. For decades now, we've always looked to China to help us, and they've always kind of pushed us off, but held out the hope that they would help. And it's been a strategic asset in the sense that China has used this leverage on other issues, such as human rights or Taiwan or the South China Sea. Every time we've had a potential crisis with China on one of those issues, we've pulled back and said, but we can't be too tough with China because we need them on North Korea. I think China would like to continue playing that role. I'm hoping that the potential for the maximum pressure campaign from the Trump administration will convince Kim Jong-un that maybe his best bet is with Washington, not with Beijing.
All right. Well, Joseph Bosco, appreciate you taking the time for us this evening. Thanks for being with us.
Very nice to be here.